Hi everybody, Charles here. Welcome to Backroads Living. If you enjoy our videos, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Hit that bell icon when it appears and you'll be notified of all of our videos as we upload them. And don't forget, that thumbs up button is important. YouTube gives us more exposure when you interact with our videos. Your comments are important to us. We use them a lot when we're making our videos because we care what you think. And many of you have much more knowledge than we do, and it helps us to share it with the community. So please be sure to leave your comments, your thoughts, share your knowledge with the community. We really appreciate that. So in this video today, we're going to be talking about prioritizing our list and how to do that. One of our readers shared with us something she shared with a friend, and I'm going to share that with you. So hang in there and we'll be right back. Before we get into the list, I want to say why it's important to have a list that you can prioritize. The last video we did was about getting your stuff and filling in your gaps. Filling in the gaps of your pantry, filling in the gaps of your freezer, and making sure you have adequate food to do you through a shutdown or a lockdown. It's really important to do that. But we also want to realize that there are priorities that we have to have. And it's real hard sometimes to set our priorities when we're in a state of fear or panic, when we're aggravated, when we're trying to just shoot from the hip to do things. You know, a lot of folks will go to the grocery, they won't take a list. Buddy, I've been guilty of that many times. You go to the grocery, you don't take a list with you, and you have to go from memory on what to buy, what you need, what do you need for your roast, what do you need for dinner tomorrow, what was you gonna, make the next day, and it's just a hit and a miss. And sometimes you luck out and you get enough stuff, and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you buy things you didn't really need. So without a list of priorities, it's hard to know what we might need during times of a lockdown or times in stressful situations. And we have stressful situation right now throughout our country. So let's look at that. What's happening throughout the United States is there are several states that are going into lockdowns or soft lockdowns, or their governors are making mandates for people to stay home or not be able to get out in public. Just so many different things that's going on. All of the states vary to a degree, but the bottom line is that it's going to put people in a position that it's going to be difficult to get out and get things they need. Right now, there's still a window of opportunity, just like I said yesterday. That window gets narrower every day because every day it seems like there's new mandates passed. Every day there's new lockdowns announced. So with that in mind, let's share with you what some of our followers have given us already since yesterday. When we posted that yesterday, we got a flood of comments on here from people throughout the United States and how their groceries or how their big box stores are faring. So let's look at some of those and realize that we still do have a little bit of window of opportunity to do some things we need to do, but that we need to be really working on getting this stuff put back. And I'm going to give you at the end of this list of states that people have reported, I'm going to give you an idea of how to figure out what you need for your new prepper. It will really help you a lot. But the first one is Miss P. Kitty 13. She said, here at my Sam's Club in Northwest Florida. Now this is in Northwest Florida. They're already out of toilet paper and paper towels. I went a week ago and they had several pallets slammed full, but my neighbor went this last Friday and they're completely out. I won't get back to Sam's until Monday week, so I won't know what their food situation is until then. My Walmart hasn't changed at all. I went yesterday and they had Spam, but it's always hit and miss in the canned meat section. Some days it's empty, some days there's a little, but they're never fully stocked. They do seem to have tuna regularly though. Maybe people around here don't like tuna that much. Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking here in southeastern Kentucky, because that's how our Walmart is in southeastern Kentucky. We've not been to Sam's Club in a long time, actually years, because the closest one to us is in Lexington, Kentucky. It's in the northern part of the state, the big Sam's Club. But our Walmart, the last time we went, was fairly stocked. And they were fairly stocked with meat, with the exception of the pulled pork that we like to buy. And they had got in 10 cans of it, and we bought the 10 cans because that's all they had. Either they had only got in 10 cans or somebody had bought and only left 10 cans. But regardless of the fact, we bought the 10 cans that was left, because most of the time when we go to our Walmart, they don't have any of it. They'll have sometimes a few cans of chicken. Sometimes they'll be stocked fairly well on the chunk chicken breast, and sometimes not. But just about all the time, about any time, there'll be some tuna. So I'm like that here too. I'm wondering if folks just don't much care for tuna. And then Happy Mac said you can only have one package of toilet paper. There's no Lysol or canned meat, but don't panic. Making me shake my head. I'm sorry that people are wigging out. Prepping, self-reliance, and peace in the Lord saves us from craziness. Charles, you're certainly correct about the feeling pressed to buy expensive things that folks can't afford. Cheap basics first. White rice is $8.25. Dry beans, pasta can, carrots, spinach, spaghetti, all that stuff you can get 50 cents a can at Walmart, and possibly cheaper at Aldi's. I'm not real sure. But again, I'm thinking that Happy Mac is in the northern part of Ohio. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Happy. But he said that, you know, they're restricted to one pack of toilet paper there. Florida Project says no serious issues here in Florida. Plenty of food to go around. Beef prices are through the roof. Now, we talked about that yesterday. Beef prices are going to continue to go up. They're going to continue to escalate. And in my opinion, from what I've read through this summer and heard from farmers on YouTube and throughout different news sources, there has been a lot of beef that's been just put down, that wasn't able to be took to the market and processed. And because of the length of time, and there's been a couple of different people pointed that out in the comments if you read them, it takes a long time to raise a small calf to a beef in order to have it slaughtered. And because of that, we're going to see prices on beef go up, because the meat will not be available as plentiful as it has been. Again, right now we're eating last year's crops and last year's beef, and next year we'll be eating this year's crops and this year's beef. And the crops and beef and pork and things like that have suffered. So keep that in mind. And in the future, if things keep going the way they are, one of the reasons let me say this, one of the reasons that they suffered was because that so many of the workers that they had working for them were tested for this virus and tested positive, and therefore they had to be quarantined and they couldn't go back to work. So the crops just lay there with nobody to harvest them. And that will happen again. It just will. That's what's going to take place. And there'll continue to be food shortages as time goes on. We also received a note in our comments yesterday that one of the top administrators in the World Food Organization had said that there was going to be a famine in 2021 that was unprecedented worldwide, and that they needed millions or billions of dollars to offset that. Well, here's the problem with that. that people are having a difficult time wrapping this around this thing is it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter if you're a billionaire. It doesn't matter if you're a trillionaire. If there's no food to eat, you can't buy it. You can't just produce food out of thin air, even though I know they're talking about creating meats and things like that are not real meats, that just garbage. But you can't just produce tomatoes out of thin air or cattle out of thin air. If it's not there to eat, you can't buy it. So there's going to come a point in our future that your food's going to be worth more to you than your money. So keep that in mind. There will no doubt be in the year 2021, we'll see people bartering for food. And that's another thing I want to mention in this video here today is if you have money in the bank, and I'm not saying go draw all your money out, I'm not telling you that at all, but I'm going to tell you that in 2021, you're going to need some cash money. If you've got money that you can put in your pocket, that you can put back in a safe in your home, you need to get you some cash money. Because if it comes down to bartering, your neighbors aren't going to be able to take your credit card and swipe it. No, if you need cheese, or you need milk, or you need beans, or you need rice, or you need any of these things, yeast for bread, you're not going to be able to take a credit card and buy it if it's not in the stores. You're going to have to barter for it. People will still accept cash, and they'll accept other goods. So if you've got some cash, get you some out and keep it handy to use. Okay? Robert said, my Walmart has no toilet paper or paper towels when I went there today. Lucky me, I have 3 24-pack rolls I put away earlier this summer. Thank you for the prepping advice from your videos, or I'd be in trouble today. Well, Robert, this is why we do this. We're so glad to hear that you were ready for this thing this time, and that you have stuff put back. That's the purpose of all these videos, is to help folks get ready for these things. And again, just a little later on, I'm going to share a list of some things with you that'll help you if you're a new prepper. So hang in here. I just want to go over some more of these states right here real quick. Dwayne Hubbard says, my wife and I went to Walmart for a roast and shirts for her today. The panic buying has started. I live in Illinois, outside St. Louis. The toilet paper was almost gone. Only toilet paper left was a few boxes that were too hard for people to reach above the shelves. I got a box down and 2 women wanting some were very happy. I'd say they were. Many things were going fast. The store was packed. I was not expecting this today. I felt overwhelmed and could not think of anything we needed or should get. I only bought a few things. I had already went Friday and bought more things and considered it my last chance to buy. It was like a bonus day on Friday that I didn't think I would get. Good thing I'm already prepped or I would be in trouble. Folks, listen to this. Listen to this. It's time, like that video I put up yesterday, it's time to fill in the gaps. Right now, not next week, not next month. Right now is the time to top off your tank, as the old saying is. Right now. And that's another thing I want to mention in this video. If you have vehicles that you use regularly and you have gas cans sitting around, you need to top off your gas cans. Get them filled up with gas and stored in your garage, in your outbuilding, whatever it is. If you need to put them under lock and key, if you need to lock it down, lock it. But get your gas. Get your fuels that you're going to need. Get it now. Don't postpone this stuff. If you say, well, I've got a little bit of money I was going to do this with right now, and then I was going to do that next month, go ahead and do that right now. Do your gas, do your necessities right now. And if time permits and the Lord willing, you can do that other stuff next month. Take that money you've hid back for a special occasion and spend it on something necessary. Special occasions can wait and they can be celebrated another time. Right now we need to get things Dana Yeager says our local Walmart in Northwest Florida has more gaps on the paper products aisle this week, still shorter than pre-cocoa for canned vegetables as well. And I'm noticing smaller sections for things like canned fruit, rice, and beans. So the sections there where they're storing their stuff is getting smaller. I showed that at our Walmart, how that they'd created it used to be a big wide space where they kept the sugar and stuff like that, and now it's down to one pallet that they keep sugar on. Where they're doing the same thing with the vegetables on the shelves. They're condensing it smaller because they're getting less and less of it in. It still looks like it's full, but there's less there on the shelf. The section's full, but they're just not near as much as they used to be. So Robert said, my Walmart in Wayne County and Costco has no toilet paper. I look for other items, and coffee is running very, very low, along with flour, and unbleached flour cannot be found. This is in the city of Spokane in Washington State. So, folks, these are just some things, some states that have reported, and they're kind of scattered across the United States, and they're seeing this already as of yesterday. And it's going to get worse because the news media keep reporting it. And it's going to get worse because you see it here on YouTube, and people are going to talk to their neighbors, they're going to talk to their families, and this thing is eventually going to snowball just like it did in the spring. If you remember, in the spring it started out kind of slow a little bit. I heard people talking about it and things going on, and word spread. Next thing I knew, we went to town to get groceries, and there wasn't any groceries to get. It had snowballed, buddy, and they just like locusts went through the store, and that's what it's going to be again. Some of you are already having struggles finding things in the stores. So, you need to get them. You need to get them while the getting's good, as the old saying is. One thing I do want to share with you, because I bought some of these diced potatoes from Walmart in the cans. We had never tried them, but we stocked up on several of them because we like potatoes. And Simply Amanda said that the canned diced potatoes, you can drain them and fry them up. Add bacon and cheese for a treat, and yummy. That sounds wonderful. And there's some things we're going to do with these potatoes that we're going to share with you later on. I'm going to do a video on a couple of meals we're going to make with them. So real simple meals that you'll enjoy and will be very hearty for you. So let's get on down here to the list I was talking about. And then after I give you this list, I'm going to give you a testimony of a lady that sent me a comment that really warmed my heart today. It just made my day. So hang in there. We're going to get there. So the Canadian Cabin Girl, thank you for this. I appreciate you being so willing to post your comments along with some of the other folks on here that are seasoned preppers and have been doing this for many years. This is a way of life to these folks. This is not something they're just starting to do or learning to do. But she said, I helped someone last week to get them on the right track for preparing. And man, I love to hear that. I told her to take some paper and a pen and just walk through the entire house, basement and all, shed and garage also. Now listen to what she told her. Make a list with titles of each area and with all items you use daily, weekly, and monthly. Get you a pen and paper and make titles for each area of what you use daily, weekly, and monthly. Open closets, drawers, cupboards, etc. Anything you need extras of. From food, light bulbs, candles, matches, notebooks, batteries, pens, pencils, sharpener, plant food, lamp oil, wicks, caulking, tarps, glue, cleaning, etc. Go through every room in your house, in your basement, in your sheds, and in your buildings if you use these areas. And make a title for each room and each area. And make a list of things that you use daily, weekly, and monthly. And see how you stand on those things. How many of them do you have in stock? What you're low on is what you need to shore yourself up on. Get some more of them. Make a list of this before you go to the store. And things for your car. Sand and salt for winter. Paper and bag products. Foil. Propane, etc. That's what I just mentioned a minute ago for your cars, like gas in gas jugs. If you have a grid failure, you can't pump gas at the gas station. You're just stuck, and whatever gas you've got put back is what you're going to have. Propane for your vehicle or for your stoves and for your heaters. Unless it's just a tank sitting there that works by gravity, you're not going to be able to get propane if you have to pump it out of pumps. If the grid goes down where you're at. It took her quite a few hours to make the list. She was more prepared than she thought, but now she knows what she needs to go and buy. Extra gas cans filled and fuel stabilizer was one thing. It's a lot of work and overwhelming. But at least I know she will fare better now. How about that? That she was worried about her neighbor, so she's helped her out to make a list. And that's what we need to do. We need to help one another. That's what this whole channel is about. It's not just for me to sit here and just flap my mouth and talk. It's you that shares with this community these things like this. This is what helps everybody. It's the knowledge and the wisdom of these people that have lived this lifestyle for years, and they know what they're doing. And, if you don't know what you need, do like what she said. Make a list of things. Go through your house, go through your garage, go through your buildings, and see what you use daily. Go into your kitchen. Make a list for the kitchen. What do I use in here every day? What do I use in here once a week, once a month? Do I have what I need for my daily stuff? Do I have enough stuff to do me for a month, out for 6 months? Or ever how long you're planning on trying to prep for in this thing. Make a list of those things, and what you're short on, that's what you need to get. So, but here's the testimony I wanted to share with you. This has warmed my heart. I tell you, this is what this is all about. This is what makes it worthwhile. Right here. Mimi Pierre said, "I'm so happy I found your channel. I was telling my husband we needed to get ready. He told me that he doesn't believe that it's going to happen. That all the talk about another shutdown was fake news." Now this was before she found our channel. "As a mother and wife, I cannot just sit back and do nothing. That's the way parents are, especially mothers. I took your advice and decided to start by getting a few things a week that I needed for my family. Every week I spent an extra $50 here, extra $100 there. Long story short, my pantry's looking really nice. However, the mister is singing a different tune now." I'm so glad to hear that. He is like, "Don't forget the water. How many more water do you think we need? Can you say what we have is enough?" I'm happy. My actions made him come around. It's a nice feeling when you feel like you may not have everything, but you have a head start. Thank you for all that you do and the constant wake-up calls. Sorry if I got a little emotional, but that's what this is about. I hope there's many of you that's had a wake-up call through this, because in the spring, it was a wake-up call for my wife and I. And we've worked really hard to try to get our pantry stocked up, and we're going to continue to do that. I want you to be stocked up, and I want you to be ready. Above everything you do, I want you to know Jesus. We're coming into a time in our lives that things are going to get really hard and things are going to be really stressed. I think 2020 is going to be the worst year that this country's seen in many, many, many years. And I want you to be ready, not just physically with your pantries and your freezers, but be spiritually ready. Be spiritually ready when this comes on, that you can be at peace in God. Seek the Lord while he may be found, for he is near to those that will call upon him with a pure heart. Seek him and you'll find him. So thank you, folks. We appreciate you watching the video again today. Thank you for bearing with us in these videos. We love you guys, just from the bottom of our hearts. We have learned to just appreciate and love and just, what can I say? I'm overwhelmed with the support that we get here. I'm overwhelmed with the comments that's left here, the advice and the knowledge that you all share with each other. It's wonderful. So thank you all. God bless you all. And until the next time, we'll see you in the next video.